What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 155 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, it's the maximum break again, because according to Wikipedia, if you can get a free ball, you can add more points to it, which sounds like bullshit, doesn't it?
It does a bit, yeah. Like, how do you get past 147 with...
So, essentially, what Wikipedia's told me is, you got a free ball at the start of your round, but as far as I'm aware, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, weird. So thank you, Wikipedia. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Yes, I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
We're back to normal, guys. We're doing a proper review today instead of just the news, but we still need to get through the news. Those of you familiar with the podcast know we do it before the actual review. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, the main thing we did was at the weekend, just after we finished recording, I went to see some old school friends who have now got children. We did some kid-friendly stuff. We did the Lego Exhibition Centre, which is like a micro Legoland, and the Sea Life Centre, both attached to the Trafford Centre.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, these are things that we didn't go to. I mean, we went to the Lego bit, but we didn't go into the Lego bit. We just mooched around the shop.
Yeah, we mooched around the shop. Like, inside the Lego bit, it's cool and all, but I don't know if it's worth the price of entry if you're not a child.
It was less about the price of entry and more about the fact that they had that sign out saying, today you have to have pre-booked, and it was like, okay.
Yep. Well, that too. Yeah, they do get pretty full, especially on like half terms and stuff with children and actual families, and we did pre-book this time, so we managed to get in. The Lego bit, I've got a fair few photos of that. Like, some of the things they've made are cool. They've made replicas of as many bits of Manchester as they could, seeing as it's at the Trafford Centre, and there are other cool things there as well, but the main thing is just like little replicas. I just think those are the best.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm not a football fan, but so that's the reason why I've never bought any of the kits. The replica football stadium range they do is very appealing visually.
Yeah, they're very good. Nice and intricate, which is exactly what you want from a showpiece Lego, really, isn't it?
I agree.
Sea Life Centre, they had a starfish who looked like it was made out of naan bread. Apparently that's called a cookie dough starfish. They had a bunch of stingrays, and their tails have been docked.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I knew you were not going to agree with it. I didn't agree with this. Like, why have a stingray if you're just going to mutilate it?
I'm going to assume it was in a petting tank, wasn't it?
It was open-topped. It wasn't petting, but it was open-topped. So anybody could just go and, like... Actually, yeah, there was a little bit of petting. So you could just, like, climb the ladder and stick your finger in and see if they came up to sniff you.
Yeah, I don't agree with that for obvious reasons. It's no different from docking a dog or a cat. Well, people don't really dock cattails, but you get the point I'm making.
It's double shitless from you because it's essentially a zoo, and I know you don't like those.
Here's the thing, is I make a bit of an exception for aquariums because they are so different to zoo. Like, don't get me wrong, mammals and stuff, yeah, you shouldn't keep those. Like, I know people... Otters you can get away with because they don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, they seem to like playing around with people that come and poke their otter hole.
Yeah, penguins and sea lions I'm a bit more iffy on because they don't tend to get enough space, and I know that sounds weird because they usually get the most space in the aquarium, but it's still not enough. Whereas with fish, you know, the tanks are... Don't get me wrong, there are some aquariums that are god-awful and they've got too smaller tanks and they don't regulate them properly. Most aquariums, especially Sea Life or Sea World, where did you go?
It was Sea Life, so yeah, it's a franchise at least.
Yeah, they tend to be pretty good, and I know this because I worked for one very briefly. It was work experience, but, you know, they do keep on the ball of things. The only small tanks they've got are for anemone, and guess what? You don't need a big fucking tank for that.
Yeah, the anemone was... the current thing with anemone is anemone rave.
What the fuck does that mean?
So you can... you push different buttons, and it changes the colour of the lighting for the anemones, and apparently they don't care because they're anemones.
Yeah, they don't care about the light.
No. So, yeah, you can just go full-on Darude Sandstorm with... just like going full-on RGB disco. And the other thing we did with half of these people were the Keighley-Worth Valley Railway, which is the traditional railway run by all volunteers. Still has steam trains and everything. We got some nice little memories there. And I have been dealt the devastating news that nearly everything in my PC is dead, so it's now time to save up for a new one. But yet, other things that have happened out in the wide world. Beware, the cheese crisis looms.
What does this mean, Rick? I'm genuinely frightened.
So there is a albino strain of fungus that's used to make many cheeses. The reason that they use this one over anything else is that it's albino and it just looks like cheese once it's dead and packaged as a cheese product. Most French cheeses use use it. Basically, it's one good blight away from being wiped out forever. It reproduces asexually, so you can't just introduce any genetic diversity into it manually, and it can only be propagated or cloned.
Yeah, but this is just the best one to use, isn't it? Like, surely there's others that exist.
Others exist, but they won't taste the same.
Yeah, but what I'm hearing is this is a French cheese problem, so I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, but apparently they use it for most cheeses that are one colour.
Right.
So it's a French cheese problem, but nearly everyone uses the French method these days. So like your Stilton's fine, because that uses something else. But like anything normal that you like cheddar or like mozzarella or, okay, brie and camembert are definitely French, but you know what I mean. Anything that looks uniform is no longer going to be uniform. We had Nintendo Direct, and a little bit after that, we had the Shadow of the Erdtree announcement and trailer. So I'm looking forward to more Elden Ring. Last time I played Elden Ring, I was shit at it, so I might have to start a whole new file and play it through again when it comes out.
We do need to make a bit of a thing about the Nintendo Direct. Very important to note, it's a partner Direct. There are no Nintendo games here, if that makes sense.
Yes. The one thing on there that I'm really interested in, because I didn't buy the original, is SMT5 Vengeance. It's going to be, looks like a super definitive version of SMT5, even if it's just with all the regular DLC from the first one. That's good enough for me.
It's confirmed to be a different story.
Oh, even better.
It splits at a point, but it didn't say what point. I'm actually also interested in this, Rick, because as much as I like SMT5, or SMT in general, it runs like shit on the Switch.
Yes, and it's coming out for PC, and they didn't announce it on the Nintendo Direct, but yeah, it's coming out for everything. PC, PlayStation, Xbox.
A lot of these things on here are being released cross-platform. It's a Nintendo Direct, so they're not allowed to say that.
Yeah, the Monster Hunter Stories from the 3DS is getting an update and re-release.
Yeah, so me and a friend were talking about this. We're genuinely surprised that they're not trying to milk more 3DS games like this.
Yeah, it's absolutely baffling, because, like, if you look at Pokemon Sun and Moon, for instance, if you take off the outlines and just add anti-aliasing, it looks really good. So it's really easy to upscale a lot of 3DS stuff to, like, modern standard, because the Switch doesn't run at very high resolution.
You picked a very bad example by saying a mainline Pokemon game, because you know they're going through that generation by generation every 3 years.
Oh, yeah. And we know that basically the only way to get a Pokemon revisited is to get it remade.
Yeah, which will be in about 10 years after it originally came out.
Well, we're 3 generations away from having that.
But yeah, Monster Hunter Stories is also coming to PC and PS4, so
Yep.
Guess what? I'm not buying this on the Switch if I get it.
A new Super Monkey Ball, which a friend of mine was very excited for.
Super Monkey Ball is one of those weird games where I've always looked at it and gone, that looks fun, but I've never bought one.
Yeah. I've only ever played it at friends' houses where they had 2 kids worth of pocket money to populate a game library with. And the other one I'm actually potentially excited for is Atlus's Unicorn Overlord. This is made by the same guys who made Odin Sphere, Vanillaware.
Okay, sure.
So it could be good.
The demo's out now.
Yes, it is. So once I update my Switch, I'll be giving it a look.
Yeah, this seems to actually be a Switch exclusive.
Yeah, it might be. And, good on it. And weirdly enough, there was a South Park game announced, and they managed to scrounge enough footage that was safe for work enough to put in a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, this game looks fucking weird, doesn't it? Because it looks like it's aimed at kids, but it clearly can't be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's called South Park Snow Day. It's advertised as a co-op adventure game, which the trailer doesn't show enough, to be honest.
No, it doesn't. The last one is Penny's Big Breakaway, which I believe I said I was minorly excited for last time or the time before we did a Nintendo Direct. So we'll see how it goes.
Epic Mickey rebrushed.
Oh, yes.
Remaster of Epic Mickey that apparently came out on the Wii 14 years ago. I'm disappointed this is coming just to the Switch. At least that's how they've decided to go at the moment, because this game looks fun.
They're saying it's a mostly faithful remake, or as faithful as they can make it while, actually remaking it.
Speaking of remakes, this is something I'm excited for, because again, it's another one of those games that's coming out on multiple things, not just the Switch. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Why are you excited for this, Devon? Well, because it's going to have online multiplayer.
Battlefront 2, which is the best one, before they made another Battlefront 2, which is the worst one.
Yeah, and also the classic Battlefront 2 on Steam doesn't have controller support, which means I can't really play it. So, I want to get this, and I want to do a fucking... I used to love the fucking multiplayer campaign rival campaign where you both, it was basically part strategy, part FPS.
Yeah, okay.
I would love to try and get one of those campaigns going with you specifically. But yeah, updated graphics. You can pre-order it now. It's out on March 14th. They're adding bonus maps and adding at least 2 additional heroes, which we see in the trailer, Asajj Ventress and Kit Fisto.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
I don't know why the fuck they're adding Kit Fisto.
I don't know why they're adding Kit Fisto, because we know he's a jobber. It's weird that they're not adding Ahsoka, because, you know, she's the hotness right now.
I think that, you know what, they might be trying to stealth it, or they might be trying to flog her as DLC, because I imagine some people would.
Or a completion bonus.
Here's the thing, I remember Battlefront 2 specifically had Ayla Secura as a hero.
Yeah.
Like, just reskin that and you've got Ahsoka.
Yeah, totally. Ayla Secura is not a Jedi Master, she's just a Padawan. She just ended up being the most fun character to play, because she was a twin saber user.
Yeah, but you get both wars. You know, you got the Rebellion and you've got the Clone Wars in Battlefront 2 specifically, so you could just have Master Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Probably be easier to model.
I think they've even got Shakti, haven't they?
They don't have Shakti, they have Ayla Secura.
Sure, yeah, but I think they had Shakti modelled at some point, but I could be wrong.
I don't think she was in Battlefront 2, but it's been long enough that I don't want to put my money down on that.
Sure.
Gundam Breaker 4 is coming out.
This is the one where you build them, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks fun, but the trailer doesn't last long enough for me to know if it is fun. It just looks fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The preview image for the trailer has an actual Gundam-looking Gundam, and then one of them looks like Gallantmon.
Yeah, they do some real dumb stuff with it. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. And a bit of a hybrid between personal and news is that Bad Batch Season 3 has started, and I've watched all 3 current episodes that dropped in one bomb.
Rick, my friend, this was what my week was going to be.
Well, I'll let you handle the details on that then. I'll throw it over to you then. How has your week been, and what have you seen out in the wide, wide world?
As we just alluded to, I watched Bad Batch. It was a very strong opening 3 episodes, and I can see why they needed to drop all 3 of those at the same time.
Yeah, episode 2 I think wasn't as strong as the other 2, but that's not to say that it wasn't good.
If they didn't have episode 2, you'd know there'd be a portion of the fan base bitching about how come we didn't see blah blah blah.
Yeah. It's where's Poochie for, you know, those characters.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get I think this is gonna be the formula for at least the first half of the season of 1 episode of Hunter and Wrecker, 1 episode of Crosshair and Omega.
And we might get some Echo and Rex episodes, but we didn't last time. As soon as they're out of focus, they're just out of focus and do their own thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, my hopes really did jump when the prospect of holy shit, Rex is joining the main cast for at least a spell.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it's excited to see how it develops from here. I'm sure we'll be doing a retrospective once the season is over.
Oh, we sure fucking are gonna. As far as Star Wars side projects go, apart from potentially Andor, I think this is definitely the one I've been most excited for. It's been consistently entertaining as well.
Yeah, true.
Also interesting to note, mild spoiler for anyone who's not up to date on Bad Batch, no hints of Tech yet, which,
No.
you know, you and I both said in our retrospective, neither of us think he's really dead, but at the same time, they've not even remotely hinted that he might not be yet, so,
Hemlock found something, which means that he's seen the body.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I think Hemlock might have been being a bit coy, not just because, you know, he's a dick, but also because he's like, I've already captured 2 of this group. I don't want them to have a 3rd reason to annoy me.
Yeah.
You ready for some news?
Yeah, let's shall.
Have you heard about Alabama?
Not recently.
Alabama's Supreme Court has ruled that IVF embryos are protected under Wrongful Death of a Minor Act. Essentially, what they're doing with this is they're saying that IVF embryos are living, breathing people and aka children because, you know, now abortion's illegal because, you know, that stage of pregnancy they count as human beings, apparently. And this all stemmed from basically someone dropped a bunch of embryos in a lab. Apparently they shouldn't have been even touching those things, but whatever, and it destroyed them. They got sued by the person who technically owned them or were going to use them for their own IVF treatment, and this has led to all of this, which basically means that Alabama's gonna get fucked by a lot of technicalities with this ruling. So much so that at least 3 clinics that provide IVF treatment have already gone, we are not going to be doing this for the foreseeable future because we might get sued the fuck out of because, or, you know, worse than that, go to trial for murder.
Well, that's the thing. The way that it works usually is that they seed many embryos, at once, and not all of them are viable. So if this counts all of them as viable, then the poor lady who's having to have IVF because, like, there are a number of reasons, but normally it's that she's not traditionally fertile, is going to have to prove under new American law that each one of those was technically a miscarriage/failed pregnancy.
That doesn't even fall on the potential mother in this instance. It falls on the clinic that's doing the inseminations.
In this particular instance, yeah, it's the clinic that dropped them and was, like, basically...
Not this specific incident. No, I'm saying the reason why clinics are refusing to do it is because they're the ones liable for child murder if they don't, let the embryos evolve into humans. I'm using weird language, but this is a weird fucking scenario.
Yeah, it's one of those where they might try and make 200, and like maybe 20 of them might be viable, and those are the ones that get implanted, and maybe 1 or 2 or sometimes many become active pregnancies.
Yeah, but the problem here is that it's not even the 20 that would become classed as children. It's the 200.
Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't mean to hammer this on here, but life is getting bad specifically for women in Alabama.
Women in America in particular. Women in general worldwide.
Rick, do you want a slightly funnier one?
Yeah.
This one's quite funny. So, Madam Web came out.
Oh yeah, apparently the lady who stars in it hates it.
Yeah, she does, and I'll tell you why. She thought she was in the MCU.
And
she's not a unique circumstance here, because Matt Smith appeared in Morbius, and he too signed up to Morbius because he thought he was appearing in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially what we have here is Sony and not just Sony, but also I guess these people's agents are constantly tricking actors into thinking they're signing up for the MCU, when in reality they're signing up for whatever shit show Sony's trying to do.
Yeah, the Sony won't call it the Spider-Verse. They want you to call it something stupid like the
Sonyverse.
Yeah, the Sony Pictures universe of Spider-Man related characters.
But not Spider-Man.
But they want the Sony bit to be the beginning of the statement that you use to refer to the Spider-Verse.
As an aside, Rick, the odd thing is, I was browsing through, because I just finished watching The Bad Batch literally yesterday. I clicked over to Marvel, and it was like, it split it all up into sagas, so it split up into the multiverse saga, and I went, let's flick through these films. Oh, Disney isn't allowed to have any of the Spider-Man films on its platform.
Yeah, I noticed that they were on Netflix.
Yeah, it's very odd. What's odder still is they go, we don't have the Spider-Man movies, but here's the Spider-Man cartoons, but not the good Spider-Verse movies, because we don't own those.
Yep.
You ready to finish on some Trump news?
What's he done now?
Donald Trump made a surprise appearance at a sneaker convention.
Oh yeah, I saw these!
Yeah, so he got up on stage, and while some people were like, oh, it's Donald Trump, yay, because they're secretly part of that cult. But for the most part, Donald Trump came up, rambled for half an hour before trying to sell his $400 sneakers, which were...
yeah, they look like pre-order DLC.
They look like something you would buy for $12 to make a child happy.
Yeah.
They are gold, but not gold. They look like they're plastic, and they've got a little American flag on, like, I don't know sneaker terms, but the fucking bit that covers the top of your foot.
Yeah, the tongue.
Yeah, that's it, probably. We're not sneaker people. But the people at this convention were fucking sneaker people, so they fucking immediately started booing because they saw the trash shoe and were like, why are you trying to sell us trash, Donald Trump?
Yeah. In tangentially related Trump news, there's now a pinball machine based on the January 6th insurrection. The pinball machine is even called Insurrection, and it was unveiled at a conservative convention.
Wait, so they're okay with just outright saying that, yes, what we did was illegal now?
Yes, but technically no. So outside facing, they're trying to, as litigiously as possible, make sure people don't refer to it as the insurrection. But apparently, once they're behind closed doors, they're quite happy calling it that.
But it failed.
Yeah.
In any other time period and any other country, a failed insurrection would lead to heads rolling.
Yes, absolutely.
Rick, what are we doing today?
We're doing The Earth Guy. We're doing episode 2. We don't often do episode 2s of things, but this dropped and we liked it. And I think we both were pretty up on it during our indie animation month last year, and excited to see how it goes on. So if you want to watch along at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
Alrighty, let's go. Very appreciative to Animated, by the way, because I think it's a she, it might be they they have added subtitles, making this a lot easier for us.
Yeah, it's great. It's great having the auto closed captioning that's not just auto generated. You know.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a medical and a probe in the bum. It's Amity.
It is a little bit.
I'm liking the facial animation on that one character.
Yeah. I like how most of them are in like different animation styles because they're all different OCs, aren't they?
Don't know about that.
Man, the janitor there looked a bit like a banana god.
Hey, that's a decent fucking first day mood. Food.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's good.
Yeah, he eats the whole thing. Let's hope that it wasn't for everyone.
Oh, that's too real of a sentiment, isn't it? I was about to say, couldn't they give him a fucking trolley or something?
Yeah. Not remembering any of those.
Okay. Oh, that's a good fucking cop-out.
Yeah, go on the wiki, nerds.
You know what? It's not the worst way to teach people, because if people are interested, they'll look that shit up.
Yeah. Well, it's how university used to be. You got told an introduction and then got told to read the rest of it.
Okay.
But nowadays it's just taught like a regular subject at school.
Fuck me, I'm getting big Ryuji vibes.
I know, right?
I like the implication that our human bro has just been incredibly lucky so far.
Yeah. Very real.
Just a sign on her back saying Kafoa sucks.
Yeah. To her credit, her hair is long enough that it's not normally visible.
True.
Unless she does a dramatic anime flip.
Yeah. So Initiation Week seems to be like a
hazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that comes up a lot in American cartoons of like Pledge Week, of like, oh, new pledges, so guess what? You got to beat the shit out of them or some shit.
Mm-hmm. I think for him, nobody cares enough to know what his weaknesses are.
Or he might be so squishy they don't want to risk it.
Yeah, true. Because some of them may have an actual fire.
Did he just interrupt a makeout session?
Yeah, all I'm thinking of is I saw Principal Skinner and Mrs. Krabappel. And they were making a baby and the baby looked at me. Yeah, maybe his hazing is being forgotten.
Oh no, we got Predator Vision.
Okay.
Fuck me, his reflexes are decent.
Mm-hmm. No, I missed.
What the fuck is going on sometimes?
That's a statement.
Man, that's a video game choice.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is, but I'm digging them.
There's some really good designs in this.
Okay.
Oh. They both chose the same costume.
Eh.
You don't have the Metaton legs.
Oh, the visual comedy in this is great. What is this? Some BDSM lab? Fucking feathers on the feet.
Yeah, feather torture.
Obnoxophone, tap water, tap for more. Need space, Galaxy Cruises.
This could have been your
This could have
ad.
been your ad. Oh,
Man.
if it was. Do you think we'd be able to, Rick?
Maybe.
Oh. Well, that's giving me ideas.
Yeah. Although his hair is drifting dangerously towards the black hole entity.
True.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? That's a very valid point, because that might be normal for humans.
Hmm.
Like, he's seeing Satan right now.
Yeah. Like, this
Man.
episode has very much hit its stride.
Yeah. What's going to be the joke? Right, okay. I can't tell if the janitor's being subtly a bro or if he is just like, I don't care, I'm just doing my job, bro.
Yeah, just being a Roomba.
That Adventure Time fucking esque flash forward was adorable.
Yeah.
I didn't realise she had a snake for hair, that just made her go up in my book.
She's a
Why is the
ponytail Medusa with a single hair.
Why is the janitor dressed like a clown?
I don't know.
Oh, every gang gets their own fucking little cutaway, it's great.
Hmm.
This Scooby-Doo bullshit. Low-key, Rick, I love this shit. Like, seeing the big map of the place and all the groups going different places.
Yeah, that's I always like that when that happens. Yeah.
Okay, that was a decent one. I'll say this, like, I don't know how many people work on this, but the animation is surprisingly smooth.
Oh, it's very consistent.
Fuck me, that is terrifying though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You're going up in a lift and it starts betraying you. Oh, he's in the Escher. He's in the Escher room. Oh, he really is high. Not a step, so you can just roll.
I was literally just a yeet.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh. Calculus parkour.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good gag. I know it was done to sort of save on the animation a bit, but that was a good gag.
Yep.
I like the person who put 69% who was just doing it as a joke.
Yeah.
Stephen hates no one, sir.
No,
Okay,
he don't.
now it's gotten sad. That is convenient. Yeah, okay, you get that reference now, don't you, Rick?
Mm. Yeah.
For those of you who don't, Emperor's New Groove is always a good thing to reference if you're doing a comedy.
It is.
I was expecting that to be so much worse. I want to know what the fuck Kafua is now. Oh, is Neil gonna do it? Yeah, get fucked.
To be honest, yeah, Earth magic as bullshit luck is actually a reasonable skill.
Yeah, he's basically a halfling. He can re-roll every dice. So wait, one person not getting initiated counts as a win for everybody else.
So it would seem.
We're pretty much as at the end now with all the actors being credited, but that was fun.
Yeah, it was. And it's good that we got to do it as a revisit, because it's nice to see these things once you've seen them once, and just because a lot of the times these pilots just don't turn into series.
Yeah, because it's a lot of fucking work, and I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate how much work goes into an animation.
Yeah. Calculus parkour again. Nice.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So yeah, Rick, we kind of touched upon it slightly, but what did you think of the episode?
It was decent. I liked it. It was one because a lot of the characters got enough characterization to, give an insight compared to last time when most of them were just introduced rapid fire. And yeah, you got the same bit of characterization, but now you get it in context.
I get what you're saying. However, bear in mind, I think the main part of episode 1 was to show why Neil ended up
sure
chosen in the first
but yeah,
place.
How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I like a bit of indie animation. Given how long between episodes this is probably going to take, we might just revisit this whenever there's a new episode, let's be honest.
Yeah, why not?
They're also nice and short. There's nothing worse than pumping out something just for a certain time limit.
Yeah, if it weren't for the fact that Hell of a Boss came out relatively on the dot every time, we might have done the same for that. But yeah, this one is a bit more in between episodes, and for good reason.
Yeah. With Helluva Boss, it's far more easier to just do a quick mini retro during the week it comes out. Whereas this, it's palatable. We can just watch and enjoy. And I'll probably rewatch this on my own time, because I'm sure there's plenty of jokes. one, I missed, and two, things we spoke over.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, even with the subtitles, sometimes that takes our eyes away from some of the other visual gags that are happening.
Sure, but I watched with subtitles even in my own time because my hearing's not great.
Yeah, ditto.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say we both look forward to more. Let's do our usual wind down, shall we? So first and foremost, what was your favourite moment, Rick?
My favourite moment was the bit of Scooby-Doo stupidity happening and accentuated by the three different gangs being shown on the map. That was it was very nice. Well, it was a nice callback to older animations when that kind of thing was just showing you that hijinks were happening and you get to fill in the blanks. How about you? What was your favourite moment?
I think my favourite gag was the wall of ads because they were pretty decent. I still remember Tap for Tap Water.
Yeah.
Oh, the speculation of if we can somehow do it, Rick.
Yeah, putting an ad into an indie animation that's in progress. Oh boy.
Let's be honest with you, like your design for our two faces isn't a million miles away from the art style used in this cartoon.
Oh yeah, sure.
Just saying. Rick, do you have a weakest link?
My weakest link, I'd say, is the pacing during the first maybe 10-15% of the episode. It felt really slow, and then it really hit its stride. Like, it's not a weakest link throughout, it's just for the first little bit.
I can see what you mean, but I think that's going to be the gimmick going forward, because the opening seems to be always going to be focusing on Neil with his little blog that he wants to send back to Earth.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Once the episode hit its stride, we were having a lot more fun, both of us, right?
I don't know, man. I don't think that was a pacing issue. I think it was just this is information that the content has to convey, and unfortunately that means like you can't just be going boom, 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 you know?
Sure. Fair enough. But yeah, that's my weakest link. It's not that much of a weak link because we enjoyed the episode. How about you? What's your weakest link?
It always feels mean to pick on anything that's indie. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going to pick on it. Not the smoothest animation, if we're being brutally honest. This is me being brutally honest, because hand on heart, I don't actually give a shit. Especially given the fact that I think they've got one animator, maybe two.
Yeah. This made us reminded us very much of Newgrounds animations from back in the day, but in the best way.
Yeah. We definitely said that almost word for word during the first episode. If this was on Newgrounds back in the day, it would be doing so many hits. People would be talking about just this.
Yeah, totally.
There's nothing wrong. The animation's fine. It's a bit janky. Janky's not the right word. It's not very sharp. It's not very fluid. But given the art style, it doesn't fucking need to be.
Yeah.
And again, this is just me. We have to put some criticism on it, especially with the format of our show. But it's a real nothing criticism. Like, I think it's fine. I think it works for the style. And anyone who layers that criticism on this show without acknowledging the fact that but it's a very small team working on it is an idiot. Yes, Rick. Shall we crown our MVPs?
This time, I'm giving it to Zav, the Ryuji-esque bro character, because he did the best job of being a very good friend to Neil.
Yeah, I get you.
Rather than giving the MVP to the animator and creator every time, I think this is where I can transition into characters. Yeah, Zav gets it this time. How about you? Who's going to be your MVP?
Despite being coked out of his head for most of it, I've got to give it to Neil.
Yeah, sure.
He is our focal point. He is, I don't like using the comparison because it's fallen out of grace lately, but he is the Harry Potter. He's our lens into the universe. And he's a good lens.
Yeah. Unlike Harry Potter, there were scenes with other characters in them.
In the moments where he was coked out, he was still funny. There was plenty of physical comedy. You know what I'm like with my slapstick.
Yeah.
I love it. I especially love it in cartoon form. You can do much more. And, I'm looking forward to seeing how his relationships evolve with his fellow classmates, not to mention even the antagonists, because it feels like the antagonists for this episodes are one and done, and it feels like going forward they'll be less douchey.
Yeah. It feels like their antagonist role was only for the episode, and they can just revert to being characters after this.
Absolutely. It's a good thing to do as a creator, is having people who are antagonistic for a reason, and then that reason goes away, and then they're just characters. It's a good fucking ploy.
Like Amity.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I guess that does it for today, guys. Thanks for joining us. Please, even if you just listen to us on the side on its own, give Earth Guy a look. It's a good cartoon. It's 15 minutes. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but you'd have given it a go. It's a little indie project, so it can use all the eyes on it that it can. They have a Ko-Fi and and a Redbubble shop. I think it's Redbubble. The Ko-Fi is obviously just to give them money. If you don't want to just give money for nothing, they've got some merch on Redbubble. It's mostly stickers and a shirt. I looked. It's good gear if you like the show, so I'd recommend it. And I think I've waffled enough. Join us next week where we do something completely different. And as always, you've got the comment section down below if you're watching on YouTube. Alternatively, you can send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes. Keep yourselves safe and keep yourselves happy. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.